perfectionists. During today's video, I'm going to teach you the number one mistake that perfectionists are making. My name's Cami. I'm an intuitive life coach for perfectionists, and here's how you know if you're a perfectionist. If you are constantly telling yourself it's not good enough, you're feeling like you're not good enough, you sometimes get stuck and frozen in not starting a project at all or not being able to finish it because you're telling yourself it's not good enough. You might as well not even do it because you can't do it perfectly. And if you're feeling this sense of overwhelm or this paralysis, like you can't even get started, these are some ways that you know. So the number one mistake that you're making as a perfectionist is you're beating yourself up all the time. A lot of my clients will refer to this as bulldozing themselves. So they're always trying to do everything at 110%. And if you're just doing math, you cannot do everything at 110%. Like math doesn't add up for that to actually be correct, for that to work for you. And this is how this looks. So if you find yourself saying yes to everything because you know you could do it better, a lot of times you won't trust other people to do things because you know they won't do it the right way. If you think about your partner or your spouse loading the dishwasher the wrong way, this is how you know if you're a perfectionist. And it shows up as extreme judgment and criticism of yourself, and then extreme judgment and criticism of others. So I want to offer you a solution today. If you are a person who has a tendency to beat yourself up, we want to start with slowing down and noticing that you're having a thought that's actually not true. As perfectionists, I want you to realize that it is not an identity. So this is how you fix this. Even just calling yourself a perfectionist, that's identifying and saying, yep, that's just who I am. That's just how my brain works. But what I know to be true from 20 years of education in neuroscience, I have a degree in molecular cell biology. I've been coaching for 10 years. I have certification in intuitive energy and in inner child healing. And what's going on is just the subconscious acting out. And the subconscious acting out is just from the programming that we put in. And when we were kids, we were rewarded for doing things right and for doing things perfect and for getting straight A's and for having perfect attendance. So all that's happening is in your adult life is you've been conditioned to believe that you get a reward for being perfect, going above and beyond, getting 110%. That's the way that we would receive rewards as kids. So here's how to stop and to shift into a new identity. The first thing you want to do is start calling yourself a recovering perfectionist. By doing this, this is going to enable you to start noticing and slowing down and seeing, oh, that's just the perfectionist pattern in my brain that's coming up for me. That's not me. That's not who I am. And also noticing that there was a time in your life that perfectionism probably did serve you well. It probably worked for you whenever you applied for jobs or you did really excellent work and you got a straight A. But just notice that now it's causing a lot of anxiety, overwhelm, paralysis, self-judgment, shame, doubt, imposter syndrome. And so we just want to simply say, oh, this isn't working for anymore. This strategy isn't a strategy that I would like to move forward with anymore. It's as simple as that. Pausing long enough to say, okay, I'm now going to choose to be a recovering perfectionist. I'm going to slow down enough to notice my thoughts. Then you're going to be able to shift into slowing down and finding out what is really true. If there's a way to get it done, if you can start to let the dishwasher be loaded incorrectly just so that you can have more peace in your life. So I want you at the end of this video today to simply just start, very simple, just start calling yourself a recovering perfectionist. And instead of the thought, nothing is ever good enough, I want you to start using the mantra, good enough is good enough. Or good and done is better than perfect and undone. So for me, I wrote a book, an entire book. It's the Happiness Handbook for High Achievers. It's called It's Happy Now. The only way I was able to complete this book, and I completed it in 8 weeks, was I had to be okay with it being imperfect. So you can go buy my imperfect book on Amazon, but really, I just wanted to get it done because it was my first book. So my challenge was to be able to put it out there as an imperfect work of art that's still valuable, but to be able to say, hey, you know what? It's done. It's complete. Final edits, sending it off to the publisher. When you're able to do this, you're able to create more, you're able to add more value to the world. This is going to show up in your life and in your business because you're going to be able to actually finish projects to completion. So if this was valuable for you today, here's what I would like you to do. I want you to reach out to me by going to the website, cammykennedy.vip. What I do as a life coach is I offer free 60-minute consultation calls. On this call, you can bring whatever is coming up for you. So if you have a project that you want to work on, if you're noticing that you're just stretched too thin, your schedule is too tight, you're feeling this overwhelm in your life and business, we can work on all of this on the call. During the call, we're going to do 4 things. So in 60 minutes, we're going to start with where you are, what's going on now. I'll take you through a brief assessment. And then as we go through that assessment, I'm going to be asking you a bunch of questions. During that time, I'll be taking notes, and what I'm doing is creating a solution for you, a customized solution for you that will work for you over the next 6 months to finish projects, to move forward, to find more peace and ease in your life, to actually feel like you're good enough. And then the 4th thing we'll do on the call is decide if it's a good fit to work together. So reach out to me, book your free consult at cammykennedy.vip. That link is going to take you directly to my consultation page form where you can book a free 60-minute consultation. And I will be back tomorrow with part 2 of this video series. I will see you on the consult call.